Pause. What? Wait. Whoa.
Yeah,
Don't.
on stage.
Wheel. Messy. Wheel. You did something with who?
Yeah. She was calling people up, and we just had a vibe. I got fooled into it. Somebody played a trick on me. One of the guys told me his name is Pen and Ace 758 Studio 758. They produce Pressure Boom for REGGAE. These guys fooled me.
This is SOCA Odyssey. We are here. This is another brilliant episode. People, I don't know what number episode we're on right now. It's been a fantastic series. This is the Nothing No Carnival series. You get a whole month or two of content. Like, it's vibes, it's energy. And I'm sitting down here with somebody who I feel has had one of the most phenomenal journeys in this industry, from taking his time to hone his craft, to being a distinctive voice in the industry, coming from an island that when you do the island call, if you don't call this island now, it's problems. If you don't see this flag, it's problems. If you don't play this genre of music, specifically from this island, it's definitely problems. I'm sat here with, I would like to call him the R&B, of SOCA. And I could go further and say, a mixture of like Luther Vandross and Dexter Daps of SOCA.
Look at that.
Right, I'm sitting out there with Mr. John himself. Teddyson John is on the seat for SOCA Odyssey. We're on WORLMAG TV. Big up the sponsor again. The two sponsors, Dubai SOCA Fest. Check out the t-shirt. Look out for that. Follow that on Instagram, Dubai SOCA Fest. And of course, Flat Cap Drinks for the rum, the vodka, the gin. Follow them, Flat Cap Drinks. Teddyson, pleasure.
Nice to be here.
Nice to be here. Nice to have you here as well.
Thank you for having
This is going to be a brilliant conversation, I know for sure. You are no stranger to the UK soil.
Yeah.
You're almost like a resident now. I'm sure you're going to have an Oyster card soon, a British passport. You know Nando's at the back of your hand now.
Oh, Lord, let me tell you, we had that today.
All right.
Oh, my goodness. Big up yourself.
Exactly. But let us, for those who are not so familiar with Teddyson, give us like a brief history of Teddyson John, how you got into music, and where you're from.
From the beautiful island of St. Lucia.
I love when you say that, because you always say in the start of your performances.
Always. We're from an amazing island, 238 square miles, beautiful people with big hearts, you understand, easy vibes. My journey in music started from the church, from school choirs, church choirs. Then I was raised jazz, gospel, R&B, the French side of jazz, not necessarily the Kenny G's and the Norman Browns. Nah, you have the French side, like the Richard Bonas, the Mario Canal.
Tell us more.
And this is where like I got to learn so many different, patterns of percussions with music and all these things. A musician, a full-fledged musician.
What instruments can you play?
Drums is my first. If I wasn't a singer, I would be a full-fledged drummer. Bass is my second, and keyboards is my third. I come from that, a family of musicians. None of us didn't really go to school to learn how to read music, but it's just something that we got. So in my family, they have the Jackson 5, you probably have the John 3. Because I have one brother that plays bass professionally and another brother that plays keyboards. That one normally works on a cruise ship. He has his own band on a cruise ship for a couple of years. So just coming from a family of music, always loved music, and happened to step into SOCA in 2007. I got fooled into it. Somebody played a trick on me. One of the guys told me his name is Pen Pen and Ace 758, Studio 758, they produced Pressure Boom for Rickety. These guys fooled me and told me we were going to do a demo. You understand? So when I heard the rhythm played, I was like, fellas, I don't wanna, you know, put that out because I was still going to church then. So my mother would, you know, fall in my skin.
Yes.
So I didn't want to do that. So they're like, Teddy, okay, we're gonna do this demo. Let's do the demo. You understand? Record it and we go get that to somebody else. You know, I heard a demo playing on radio. DJs wheeling that like, and then boom, everybody got to know, you know, me in St. Lucia from 2007 with soca music. And from then, I haven't stopped yet. And it's only in 2016 the rest of the world got to know me, or the soca fraternity got to know me with Ali.
Ali.
Yeah.
What country picked up onto Ali first? Which promoter, which DJ, both locally and globally, that picked up to Ali first?
With Ali, I remember Stephen telling me, Teddy, this song going to catch. Because when I went to do Ali, I decided to change the genre or change my style. I started to go more into inspirational soca, and I wanted to give a message in all of my songs. So for me, I was saying that it had to be more than just the jump and wave. Every carnival, it cannot be drink rum with your friends. It cannot be run over there, run over there. It cannot be wine and go down, bumpers. I had that kind of vibe before, you know, so I just decided to change that. And when I decided to do it in St. Lucia, not everybody picked up on it in St. Lucia. They were like, Teddy, we want the land of wine, we want the sweet soca music, that kind of vibe. But when it went through Trinidad, it went through New York, Miami, then it gone to Trinidad, and everybody took it on. That's when everybody else probably jumped, you know, on it as to what it was.
So it's fair to say, and I remember saying as well, Teddyson, if you didn't know him, you think he's a Trini artist because of the kind of soca you did.
Well, yeah, that is very true, because a lot of people didn't think it came from St. Lucia.
That's right.
At that time, you had the Denry thing in St. Lucia, Denry music, and people just didn't think something of that kind of standard, or a singer, somebody that, you know,
could come out of St.
like
Lucia.
a groovy could come out. So everybody thought
it was exclusive to Trinidad.
Exclusive to Trinidad. So that is why every time I went on a stage, I told people, my name is Teddyson John, and I represent the beautiful island of St. Lucia. So they had to know where we come from. So you can get that too. You know, apart from what we have, you can get that too.
Exactly. Brilliant. Who are some of the people locally, regionally, that inspired you soca-wise?
Soca-wise would be Kerwin. Kerwin Dubois. Kes. I love the females in terms of the vocal abilities, like Destra. Watching Patsy. Kerwin for me is closer to me than, you know, because the reason I've seen his work ethic. A lot of artists, you probably have artists that, okay, you get an email with about 500 songs in demos, and you get to choose which one you want to sing. Everything is already there for you. You just have to. But I've seen with Kerwin how he produces. You know, I got to produce Magnetic. That was my first song that I produced. You know, with him. I produced
Arrogant. Sitting on it, sitting on it, sitting on it, sitting on it.
That's right.
So
I did that. I did the Haze rhythm. You understand, with Fetland. You understand?
Welcome to the Fetland.
So he allowed me to produce with him in that space. Somebody that didn't need anything from me still allowed me and gave me that opportunity to do it. But I've seen Kerwin sit down in front of a laptop and go through tones, go through a folder with 1,000 tones, and make sure he goes through everything and get. So after he produces everything, he mixes and he masters. Also, he writes everything. So you have to have that kind of admiration, for somebody like that. So for me, Kerwin is one of my biggest, influences, and we became closer until now.
Love that. I'm gonna say this now, Kerwin. If you're watching this, if you're seeing this, please send it to him. We need you on the show, Soca Odyssey, and you are definitely one of the most, I think, misunderstood and underappreciated soca artists and creatives.
I don't think he has got
phenomenal penmanship,
the flowers that he deserves, and the amount of careers that he's helped, form and give these songs to people. So he is one of my, people that I always look up to, and as much as we close, as friends, I will still have that respect for him where his work ethic is concerned. Yeah.
Take us back now to early Teddyson John days. So you're in the church, you've done your demo.
Yeah.
Your first song, Ale, is flying through Trinidad.
The first song I did in 2007 was Coming Down the Road. When I did that song, I won the Groovy Monarch in St. Lucia the first year.
2007.
First time. And then,
what year did Ricky T do Pressure Boom?
Ricky T did Pressure Boom 2008, I think. Yeah. Ricky did Pressure 2000.
Because Ricky T don't seem to miss that song coming on that road march.
Yeah, well, he always, that's his thing, After doing the competitions, I dropped out of the competitions in 2012. And then my team, myself, started to create, our own show called Euphoria, in St. Lucia, where it was a place that, you only had to hear groovy music on a groovy night or groovy monarch night. So, me being the one that probably, was leading that groovy kind of vibe. And we just did something that turned into an amazing production.
Boy, there's so many things I can ask you right now, because it's so much history and things to go through. Let's talk about, definitely still sticking on the early stages.
Yeah.
How do we get Ale? Because again, you're giving us almost Trini soca, but you're making sure to identify that French practice by putting in Ale. What was the inspiration for Ale?
My thing is that Ale was created in my band room, underneath my house, with one of my producers, Pepe, is one of my keyboard players in my band.
What's the name of your band, by the way?
Oh, the Teddyson John Project, or the TJ Project. You can check them out on Instagram, TJ Project Official. You can check them out. I want to big up the guys, Casey, Zach, Daniel, Pepe, Shaq. Big up yourself. The entire team, management team, Darwin God, Dahlia God. Big up yourself. I wanted people to say, okay, what word is that? Or I wanted to introduce a little bit of French, to it, but not necessarily like sing an entire French, hook, or an entire French line, or an entire French verse. Ale, meant, go, ale. That's what we used to say on the blog. Move from there, ale, go. I wanted to write that song in a different way, or use the word in a different way. So that's where that inspiration came from, in terms of get up and start moving. All the load on your shoulder, dust it off. Put your problems behind you, dust it off. That kind of vibe. So I started working with this amazing writer in Trinidad called Jeremy Jacobs. And that's my boy. Like we have conversations, before we write. Conversations. You'll never go to the studio and then just put pen to paper and just start doing stuff. We have conversations when we write. So that's where Ali came from. And when Ali happened, then it's like I felt like I had to start over again because everybody started to get to know me from
Ali.
But I've been knocking on that door from 2007, just trying to be a representative coming from St. Lucia that gives, quality music.
Quality music, representation, and
Yeah.
do you feel that St. Lucia now gets the full representation it deserves, or do you still feel like you're knocking at doors?
I think St. Lucia, the name St. Lucia is very much heavy in what we do. We predominantly known for the Dennery segment, which is a mixture of the Afro, the French, kind of vibe. So you have that, but there are other artists home that do stuff too. For me, I just wanted it to be a proper mixture of the music that can come from there, because not everybody's a Dennery segment artist. They're singers, they're amazing people that have different.
You guys have a massive jazz festival.
Yeah,
I think you have probably one of the biggest in the Caribbean, if not the biggest.
Well, that jazz festival that's where, funny mention jazz, because that's where I got a lot of my experience from. My band was born on a jazz festival stage. We opened for it was Neo. We opened for Neo, you understand, on that festival stage. But before I got like my band, there are so many different people that gave me the opportunity to be a part of their set before I was able to do mine in 2010. So like people like Barbara Kadey, I was a backup singer and percussion player. I was a lead singer in a band called Blue Mango. That's my brother and Richard Payne, the School of Music director. I got to do something with Patty LaBelle. You understand that time?
Hold on, pause. What? Wait, don't.
On stage.
Wheel. Messy. You did something with who?
Yeah, she was calling people up, and we just had a vibe. It was an amazing.
Patty LaBelle was in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
For the jazz festival.
Yeah, for the jazz festival.
And you got to.
Yeah, we got on stage and sang together.
What song did you sing? This is Patty LaBelle. Hold on, wait.
She was given that somebody loves you, baby. Oh, these songs is classics that that can never, these songs will never die. That's why people like that still have a long life today, and they can still tour on these songs. So after Paddy, I got to open for Luther.
Luther Vandross. So when I say Luther Vandross, you see I'm not lying.
Yeah, Luther Vandross. then we got to do Trey songs. But around 2010 is when I started to get to do, Teddyson John. So that night, the other night, Shaggy, I brought DeVille, I brought Kess into my set. Popcorn, Shaggy surprised with Popcorn that night. But the Jazz Festival in St. Lucia has been a platform to give a lot of years. With the new government in power, they're going to be bringing it back next year.
Yes, please. Please. I like I said, the research I've done, the time I've been in this industry.
Yeah.
I know UK DJs that are heavily in R&B, that are heavy in the R&B space.
There's an elite group. There's a UK elite group
that they come to St. Lucia for the jazz festival.
They had these white parties and all kind of things. So they used to run a year. So that group, always used to be there. So we've had situations where we got to do,
some big things.
Yeah, we got to do it. But again, only when I got into SOCA in 2007 is when people really got to know me. So before that, I was doing it. When I got into there, people got to know me. So the doors home was opening up a little bit. but it's only in 2016 that everybody else got to know, or the name Teddyson John became a household name.
And what show outside of St. Lucia was the first one that made you say, yeah, Teddyson John is here now. He's ready to give to the world.
I think it was in Trinidad, because these shows I used to watch on television, and I was like, one day, you know, I will get to see it. Like when you see Bishops, you see, you know, Ami Fet, you see all these things, and you home watching, you know, and you're like one day, you know. So me being able to be on the same shows that I used to see different artists on, you know, that made me believe that, hey, okay,
we're here now.
You understand? We're here now, and maintaining a spot, and you know, so that kind of vibe.
Maintaining the spot.
Yeah.
How does Teddyson John, or how was he maintaining the spot at that time?
Just being me, you know, easy going, no excitement, calm, you know, cool with everybody. I believe in the industry, attitude is everything too. A lot of things change people when they get a little bit of that, you know, success, but it's me.
And do you feel that, did you ever feel like you needed to rush to do any kind of sound or style, or as the Dennery grew, you had to rush and get into the Dennery segment as well?
I think I had to stay true to me. I'll give you an example, right? Blacks, bless his soul, my boy for life.
R.I.P. Blacks.
My mentor for life. I remember when I was going to release Vent, Palais, that was one of the most difficult decisions, because around that time, Split in the Middle from Freezy took, you know, up, you understand? And then Split in the Middle literally like bust after 3 years or 4 years, you know? So everybody just started to be fresh on the Dennery segment. The guys work hard, they're amazing, talented artists in St. Lucia. Big up all of them, Moto flying that flag, big up everybody, because at the end of the day, we want to get St. Lucia, the name St. Lucia out there. I just happen to do it through soca music. Blacks told me, Teddy, the day you decide to change what you're about, you're gonna end. You understand?
Yes.
I didn't believe in trends, because a trend changes every day.
Yes.
So if a trend changes every day, that means you're not sure of you understand, you're going to change. You're going to be like a top spinning in mud. So if one day is trap day, you're going to go there, one day is another thing, you're going to go there. To me, if you stick to who you are and know your story, you understand, you'll be okay, and people going to respect you for that. So people started calling me the inspiration, the gospel, the past. They can call me anything, you know, but I just knew what I wanted to do and what story that I wanted to give. I just wanted to have some sort of message within the music. And that, to me, soca music just could not have been about, again, the jump and wave and this and that. To me, okay, when I did Ali, I started getting some messages that I didn't even know how to answer, where people telling me what the music has done to them. So then I realized, like, boy, Teddy, that's not a joke.
Not a joke.
Because people, their lives, and people look at you and they take strength from what you know you do. So I try to make sure in everything that I do, I have one sort of inspirational song that I can give.
Definitely, and I'm glad you touched on that, because lots of people seem to think that soca is only for the carnival.
Yeah.
And like Irfan says, there's no seasons.
No.
And especially living in the UK, I've come to realize, especially with the help of social media, I've come to realize that there are lots of people that listen to soca just for the daily uplift.
So you need to
on their way to and from work.
Yeah.
You see people listening to soca when they're getting ready to go out. African people, our brothers and sisters on the motherland, they listen to soca, and they're born here, so they're second or third generation African. They listen to soca when they're taking their kids to school, when they're going to work, but they might go and party to Afrobeats or party to dancehall. People have the moments where, so you have to have soca for every season and every reason. And it's a beautiful thing to see and behold. And we are so appreciative of artists like you who can give us the meaning behind the soca, because again it's imperative not just to say, oh yes, wine and jiggle and catch and like that's good, we need that too,
but you need but I think it can be more than that. There are different aspects to it, there are different things with it. I want to do music that has a long life. Like I want to do music like, okay, soca is the only genre that every year you got to wheel and come again. I don't like that.
That's right.
It's the only genre that every year is what you have. So it's like your catalog is not really relevant, but it's what you have this year. That don't make no sense.
But it's funny because when you get to a certain stage and age, your catalog becomes then everything, because then when people come out to see you like you are in London now, people want to hear the alley, they want to hear the Vents, they want to hear now the X Games and all the other songs.
So for me, I like telling the stories with it. I like to make sure that what I have is something that has longevity in it. You can hear it 10, 15 years from now, that story you'll understand, so the story makes sense. So that's what I wanted to do with soca is concerned. Like when you strip out all the subs and the 808, the lyrics make sense. So you can put that in an acoustic kind of vibe, that kind of.
And I'm glad you mentioned acoustic, because for me, one of the most impressive Teddyson John moments is when you did the acoustic to X Games with your band, and that's produced by Private Ryan. Private Ryan, you heard the UK as well. Everybody's here. I feel like this is definitely a Caribbean carnival season. Everyone's here. Big up Private Ryan on the Fizzle project.
Thank you.
Talk to us about that acoustic session, because that took social media by storm, and I think I posted that about 20 times.
That sparked the entire album. The project started with, I called the guys, I was like, fellas, I have an idea, let me do something to put out on social media. And I hashtag just so, because just so we were here and we just decided to do, right? Okay. When we went, we just decided to come to studio and what we felt, play. So it wasn't pre-recorded to say, like, this one. We just felt the vibe, the guitar, and I just started, then Peppy started, and percussions, and just the entire band. So we decided to just put that up on social media. When I saw the amount of traction and love that people was giving that, I was like, okay.
Because quickly, did you co-produce the Fizzle project?
I did co-produce it in terms of adding the guitar, section, to it.
Yes.
Ryan used to send me a lot of different ideas, and he's the one that was open to me putting, because he knows I'm a musician, so I would be able to add different things to it. So what I heard, I added. When Angela Hunt heard the guitar, she wanted the guitar in her song too. So there's, different things with that. So when that came out, Ryan put that up on his social media.
And it went again.
People gone wild. After that, I said, okay, I'll do Kitesa, which is Leave, another one. Okay, traction again. Then I did Creme de la Creme, traction again.
And Creme de la Creme quickly is I remember being in St. Lucia 2019 and hearing you say Creme de la Creme is your
version of
Dennery segment.
That is how I would do it. You understand? That's me. So I added instruments, I added, the synths, that you can put a sick melody over that compared to just a heavy beat alone. So it's my version of it. Where I wanted to do where the album came into play is that I remember on Uber Soca Cruise, we were going, and then somebody says, they tagged me, and they said, listen, and the tag is that, like, they drive in, they see mountains, and they said, listening to the acoustic sounds of Teddyson John. I said, shit, we got something here. I call my band members. I say, fellas, when I come back from Uber, we go in and do an album. The guys were excited, everything real nice. Real, we wanted it raw, authentic, no studio tricks, no nothing. When I think the album is ready, I sent it to a couple of key people in my life. Said, Teddy, it ready yet? I went back and I recorded all 11 songs again. Right? All 11 songs. We came to a studio like we were at work. We took a break at lunch. You know, we did that. And that's when the acoustic album came out over the COVID, you know, period of time. And then we wanted people to see how authentic it was. So we did it live in front of the Pitons, you know, in St. Lucia at Hotel Chocolat. The name of the album was called Caribbean Moscato. My manager, Darwin, said, I have a name. And he told me, I want to know what you think about it. And he said, the album makes you want to sip some wine. And you're from the Caribbean, the album makes you want to sip some wine. So if you listen to the album, and it's some of my same songs, my soca songs, all of my soca songs, some of them was handpicked and I redid each and every one of them in an acoustic kind of way. Now that album was done when I saw what COVID was doing and everybody was not, you know, I said soca music is based so much on a festival that we have to come out of that kind of vibe. So when
everyday world music.
So when everybody else was doing albums, soca was real suffering because we can't go to a carnival. And that ain't right. You know, so I decided if we were to go down that route of the acoustic vibe, I would start to attract more music festivals compared to the carnival, the Notting Hill Carnival or the Labor Day. You want to do music festivals. So after we did that, boom, I got the headline Dominica Creole Music Festival.
Yes, which is a big festival.
You understand? Then there's a Suriname started to call in terms of that kind of acoustic vibe. So I figure, okay, boy, Teddy, you have a niche here. You know, and again, it's me going into a comfort zone. Not I wouldn't say a comfort zone, but me going into a zone that I was already accustomed to, but the rest of the soca fraternity didn't know.
To introducing them.
So I introduced them sort of to new or old Teddy. You understand? Because I was right there, the percussions, that's my thing. That's the what you call that, the cabaret, like cabaret shows. That's where I came from. You know, I did cabaret shows at Sandals. I did cabaret shows on the cruise ship. I would, you know, all these things. So I got these experiences there. So I was able to narrate, you know, Caribbean Moscato in terms of just the whole vibe it is. And if you haven't seen it, if anybody hasn't seen it, make sure you check it out. Teddyson John Project, Caribbean Moscato. You're gonna love it.
I'm gonna have to speak on this because it's something that's dear to me.
Well,
I am passionate about brand building, and we have a sponsor here. That's a rum. The Caribbean is so fertile, so beautiful. Why don't we have our own wine? Why don't we have any vineyards in the Caribbean where we are selling and producing wine that we can tie in brand awareness with and grow with and export to the world our music and a drink? Because every genre, every movement has facets.
Something.
It has a sense of dress. It has a sense of talk. You have a kind of smoking. You have a kind of liquor, alcohol with it. We need something other than rum.
I think the Caribbean,
and we can. I think we can sell wine in a beautiful way using St. Lucia as one of the main vessels.
Again, the Caribbean, every island has its own identity. If you compare Africa to the Caribbean, no matter if it's North, South, East Africa, it's still Africa. So they have that main source of whatever they sell or whatever they go or whatever comes with it. I think the Caribbean, everybody got their different sauce. Barbados got their own sauce. Trinidad have their own sauce. St. Lucia have their own sauce. Grenada have their own sauce.
Sauces?
No, I'm just saying, not sauces meaning they have a sauce. I mean, I'm just saying their own way of doing things or their own way of wanting to get things out. So it has to be something we have to come collectively as a Caribbean unit to do it, as one to do it. It has to be something which is uniquely different, you understand, from the Caribbean as one facing everywhere else compared to every little island doing this stuff.
Definitely. Because I know, for example, one of the main wines in Jamaica, which is where I'm from, is Yellowtail.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we can produce own vineyards and create something that is palatable and sweet and enjoyable on the international market that can work alongside the reggae, alongside the dancehall, alongside the soca. Everybody runs the vodka and rum, but let's create something that you can have an evening sip.
Yeah.
Speaking of music again, and one of your songs, my favorite song, and I don't see you perform this song often enough. I don't know if you can guess.
Which one?
Throwaways. You don't promote, you do not perform Throwaways enough, and people love that song.
If my management team hears you, they would probably, would fight.
Management team, Throwaways, get him to perform it.
They would tell me, now funny enough, I love performing Throwaways with a band.
I've seen you perform it once at a Soca Frenzy.
Yeah.
Let me not lie.
Yeah.
But once is not enough.
Yeah, I know. And it's not a song, honestly, and I am very guilty of that. It's not a song that's in the repertoire because I feel that not, a lot of people, and I'm sorry, I apologize. And I have to change that about myself.
Let me also add, artists like yourself, every time you come to a country, you need to ask on your social media, put the box. What songs should I perform?
Okay.
And perform all of them.
Okay, all right.
Don't perform what you're used to, what you can do it.
You're right.
Perform all of them.
And I will change that.
Please.
I will change that.
Because the reception, we're gonna have some little babies from that, but I'm sure you're happy to know that you're the reason why life is procreating.
Listen, if you check what Throwaways is my version of Denry,
Well, I tell you, I know the team.
Yeah,
creme and Throwaways.
That's right. That's my
I
version.
want you to.
Yeah. You shocked me there with that. Man.
Come on.
You shocked me there with that.
That's it.
But I am going to change my.
Please add it in because it's a beautiful, and you can fit it in anywhere. You can fit it in before fizzle. You can fit it in before creme de la creme, after creme de la creme, anywhere.
All right, my boss.
So, and I've been following the journey since I first saw you outside of the UK, which is always nice to see artists outside of the UK as well, and outside of the Caribbean. I first saw you in Miami Carnival 2016. You were at this event, Adventure Island or Adventure something. Phenomenal performance, great performance. And it's like, okay, cool. So he can work this American crowd, and he can work the UK crowd, and he can work his, obviously I hadn't come, this is 2016, so I hadn't come to St. Lucia's yet. But I'm like, okay, cool, you can work the UK crowd, you can work the American crowd, so surely St. Lucia's.
I've been performing for a while, and in front of a stage from school, church, cabarets, hotels, cruise ships.
Where do you love the most? If Teddyson John could create the perfect environment for people to, if it's the first time hearing Teddyson John, how would you like people to experience Teddyson John in him and his band, the whole facet, the whole form?
An intimate acoustic vibe. I like intimate. Not, you see, if you can, people think a crowd has to be tens and thousands of, yes, that's all well and good. But there's a certain sort of intimacy where you don't have to focus on the jump and wave and shout and the screams. Sometimes people just want a conversation. You could have a like I want to be in a theater type setting and explain to people where all these songs came from and all the stories behind them and talk before we.
I love that you mentioned that.
I want to do something. I want to do something in London like that.
I can see it now. Let's paint the picture. And I thought about this for Dexter Daps. What can I said? You're like the Dexter Daps of St. Lucia.
But I don't think what Dexter does. How?
What do you mean how?
Dexter
you
Daps
make women feel good. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You sing the same thing in a very melodic way.
All right.
Very sweet way.
So I'll take that.
Royal Albert Hall. Whether it's you or Dexter, it's a masquerade party. Everybody's gonna wear a mask.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta wear a mask. You get rum punch or some kind of Moscato on entry. Wine on entry, complimentary. You come in, a hop.
That's my kind of shit.
Yes. And then you come out, the spotlight's on you.
But you know the thing.
Acoustic vibes.
But you
Royal
know the
Albert Hall,
thing.
that's what, 3,000 to 5,000 people. I think you can do that with the right kind of promotion team.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we would have to definitely introduce, then you go through your songs, take your time.
I want to do that. That's what I want to do.
Okay, let's do it.
I want to do that.
Let's do that event.
We don't even need 3,500 people for that.
500.
Let's start with that.
That
would be the best time of their lives.
Yes.
And that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. When you strip the music, when you strip the noise, you understand? Because we fall back on the noise. We fall back on that. But when you strip everything, then you understand what it is. I want to do that.
I'm ready.
I want to do that.
Promoters, it's too late. I've already done. I've done the event. Don't try and do it now. If you're gonna try and do it,
beautiful,
it's already confirmed. You have to do it with me because it's my idea. But I feel like honestly, and that again would allow the soca to transcend to another level.
Okay, so now you understand why I went the Caribbean Moscato way, just to have another conversation.
Yes.
Just
live instruments, and we want to see you play the instruments.
Of course.
Because recently we had the Millennium Tour. We saw Bobby V playing the piano. We want to see the soca artists come out and show us their full capacity.
I have a concert in St. Lucia called Euphoria, and it's a concert that's in July, like the second week. In July we did it.
I'll come in Lucia next year, so make sure
you'll come see it. Beautiful. You'll be there as my guest. It's not a problem. We'll link up. And there was one part of the concert, there was one time in the show, I rolled out, a drum set, and me and the drummer went back and forth in solos, This year I was playing, keyboards in the solo. It's just a nice vibe because I come from music, so I like to do these things. But that type of experience is what I would love to do. And I think that's the difference. I want to see that. Are you on Uber next year? I hope you are. I want to see that on Uber. I want to see that on Uber. All 3 ships.
In one of the, not the main deck.
It has to be in the
theater. Sorry, in the theater.
Well,
the captain's dinner.
Yeah.
If you've never been on a cruise ship, the captain dinner is the most elaborate time. So you can't come to Uber and just wear your Crocs and your shorts like me. You have to come in your finest shoes, finest trouser, finest shirt, finest bow tie. And if you don't have a haircut, you better beg your friend cut your hair for you, or walk with a little clipper or scrapers. Nice, proper thing.
It's beautiful, and I think that's another outlet, of it too, and it's something that I love. I think people would, because when that's a type of intimacy where people look. They look to find out, and you appreciate. There's songs I ended up appreciating much more than the originals. Songs like Kite Sa, my favorite version of Kite Sa is the acoustic version. Vent was done acoustic, Ali was done acoustic, Melodies New Day was done acoustic. I did another song called I Pray, which is acoustic that came out during the COVID, period of time. So it's just a beautiful.
We spoke about throwaways. I'm loving this conversation. People, Soca Odyssey, we're giving it the raw, authentic, heart-to-heart conversations with the soca artists. So right here in London with us. Remember to share this YouTube, check it out, make a friend know. If you're a Lucian, you should be watching this right now. If you're a French Caribbean or just a lover of Teddyson John and soca music, and just music in general, you should be watching this right now. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Another song, X Games, the acoustic version. We need to speak about that because that again showed the versatility, the variety, and that's also another song that I think if you performed it acoustic on Uber at a show in London, 500 people, 300 people, intimate settings.
You make me change up the whole thing there. Yes, I will. I'll take your advice.
Because again, that's so heartfelt, and especially when you did it, quote unquote, a cappella acoustic style on, we got the Matter Drive show in Trinidad. Shal Marshall, and
they just call me here, they know I sing. They call me the singing.
And to see you all on that project with the Fizzle and Second Star, Preedy, big up Preedy, Freetown Collective, Angela Hunt, you know, and Kess is also on that rhythm as well.
X Games is a story. The truth is, you know, you sometimes you go through something, you know, and you go through your relationships, and if that one doesn't work out, you go to another one. And then sometimes you directly or indirectly make the other person pay for the mistakes of what the previous person did. So don't make me pay for your X Games. You know, so So wanna big up. I remember Jeremy and myself, we had that conversation and we sent that for Ryan. Oh Lord. Ryan, but I told Ryan that missing something. I have a guitar in my head there I want to put down. So I called my guitar player and I was like, yo, I have that there, so play them chords for me.
Simple as that. Like, how long does it take to write a song like X Games?
If you know what you want to talk about, it's easy. But we used to have conversations about these things. Conversations. So when you have conversations, okay, you would not put a song, okay, I went by the road, oh, I see a road, oh, I turn up and think, oh, nah, you want to have a intelligent conversation about a situation either you've been through or somebody else been through. So everybody's been through that situation where you've directly or indirectly make somebody pay, you know, for something. Let's say you had trust issues before. The next person that you go into date, you at the back of your mind, you're thinking of what the previous person did to you. You know?
It's tough. It's tough. Now, we're in 2020. We've come through the pandemic. We've come through the troubles of the ex-gay relationships. How are we looking now for 2022? Nottingham Carnival. How are we feeling? Where are you going to be? What's happening?
We feeling good. I came in for the Titan Festival. Did that. We're going to be with Kes.
On Friday.
On Friday.
Carnival Friday. Big up Dreamland events.
Yeah, Dreamland events over there as well. Monday, I'm basically on the road. I'm gonna be everywhere. Blessing everybody. It's gonna be nice, but it just feels good to be back. You know, on the road again. From there, we go to New York for a couple of shows there. I go to Jamaica, then Switzerland. You know,
yes, because you booked for the Swiss SOCA Festival.
Yeah. Nice. Swiss SOCA Festival, my first time. So just being able to bring vibes over there, music over there. Got some beautiful releases coming. You know,
when can we expect those releases?
Very soon.
All right.
Very soon.
Is there an album?
And I'm working on another album.
Oh, okay.
The name of the album is called Side B.
So side A on this on the cassette or side B?
Everybody knows the A side of me, which is the inspiration, that kind of vibe. So side B would probably be a sexy side. You know? So I would just Dexter Dappish on them. But not that, you know, hello, you know, you like you like problems. But I'm just saying, it's just a different style. It's just something that couples, you know, grown folks after dark,
Perfect.
Type of vibe. So it's
we'll be sipping the Moscato or the flat cap rum.
In that kind of time there, you know, so I am working on that as well. And also another Moscato, Caribbean Moscato Volume 2. Because a lot of the songs I want to do, I want to be able to strip it and give it in that acoustic setting.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of work. So 2023, we're busy. 2024, I'm busy. And we're going to see once. How was St. Lucia Carnival for you this year?
It was amazing. Being able to, I was happy that it opened up. Just being able to perform home. I never really got to perform home after, pandemic, what it was. So we used to do more events outside than home. But being able to perform on these stages at home, there's no greater feeling like that. My concert in St. Lucia, Euphoria, everybody, we moved to the stadium, everybody came out, I had an amazing time. The different promoters, Color Me Red, Remedy, everybody that just had a vibe.
Brilliant.
It was nice, so I think next year Godspeed is even going to be a
bigger
bumper.
one. We're going to be there, so please, if you're DJs,
of course,
we'll be happy to open up for you.
We there. And it's going to be a bumper year next year with all the different islands and everybody hopping to the different islands. So
people say Lucia Carnival the place to be. The dates, I think the parade is 17th and 18th of July.
Yeah.
So flying the week before.
The week before.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Make sure you're there.
Before. I used to have the concert the week before, but I have it the Thursday of Carnival. The Carnival Thursday week. So because we got a lot of complaints that a lot of people
missed it. Other events clashing over.
Not necessarily clashing over, because we're not that place in St. Lucia where you can have 5-6 events in one night. We don't have that amount of people to be able to do that. But it's just that a lot of people weren't able to come to the country. We normally have a week vacation. So it's not everybody that could have come the week before.
Yes.
You understand? But we keeping it in the week of Carnival. It's beautiful.
We'll be there. We'll be definitely there.
Man.
SOCA Odyssey representing Teddyson John. It's been a fantastic conversation.
Thank you for having
Lucians, we'll see you out there.
I want everybody I want to just thank everybody for the love and the support and the encouragement and just allowing me to be me and embracing the music, you know what I mean? Thank you for the journey, being on the journey with me. We just getting started. We have a lot to do, a lot of places to go. And I'm excited to share a couple of things with you. So you can keep following me on Instagram, everything at Teddyson John. Stream the album, Caribbean Moscato. Tell me what you think. Don't be afraid to leave your comments. Also check out the live concert as well of Caribbean Moscato. Look out for more music and big up everybody, the DJs, the fans, everybody that's just there. And allowing me to do what I do. So I appreciate you. Thank you for having me here.
My pleasure as always. Thank you so much, bro. Take care. Bless up.
Yeah,
this is SOCA Odyssey. I'm Sir Fluential representing Flag Sound. Big up WORLMAG and the whole team. We are signing out. Don't forget to sponsor Flat Cap Drinks and of course Dubai SOCA Fest. We'll see you in the next episode. This has been the Nottingham Carnival series. Take care. See you on the road.